I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed, and with new games on the horizon and Ubisoft reportedly going all in on a franchise, you can imagine how excited I feel. But it does make me wonder what Ubisoft is planning next. So today, I thought I'd share my ideas for my 5 dream Assassin's Creed games. If you enjoy this video and find it interesting, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what your dream Assassin's Creed would be. Let's start off with this setting which the fans have been asking for years. Ancient Rome, the Roman Empire, and famous figures from that era have been mentioned numerous times throughout the franchise. You'd think with all the time periods Assassin's Creed has and has yet to visit, that an Ancient Rome Assassin's Creed game would have happened already. Given the amount of major historical events that happened during this time period, it opens up many ideas for when this game can be set and who could be the protagonist. I think the best place to look for ideas would be in the Sanctuary under Villa Auditore. The Sanctuary is filled with 7 statues that each pay homage to legendary assassins for their mastery of skills and their assassinations that changed the course of history. 4 of these statues are of assassins we have already played as or met in the games. Altair from Assassin's Creed 1, Amunet or Aya from Assassin's Creed Origins, Darius from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Wei Yu from the upcoming mobile game Assassin's Creed Jade. But there is another statue here of a Roman assassin called Leonius, who used a dagger to assassinate Emperor Caligula beneath Palatine Hill in 41 CE. Other than this information, not much else is known about this assassin, so I think a game that tells the origin story of this legendary individual would be interesting. Another option could be a spin-off like Assassin's Creed Mirage, where we play as Amunet in the events following the assassination of Julius Caesar, which causes citywide riots, the death of Brutus and Cassius, a civil war, the death of Mark Antony and Cleopatra, and Augustus becoming the first emperor, which began the age of the Roman Empire. I feel like either of these options could be really awesome for an ancient Rome Assassin's Creed game. Whether we explore the origins of Leonius or experience the birth of an empire that arose from chaos, it's an Assassin's Creed game that is incredibly overdue. The Assassin's Creed franchise has taken us to almost every continent in the world. However, there has only been one game set in Africa, which was Assassin's Creed Origins, which is completely understandable since Egypt's world-renowned history completely overshadows every other African nation, and well, an ancient Egypt Assassin's Creed would obviously sell. But Africa was home to some of the wealthiest and most prosperous empires in history, specifically the Mali Empire and the Songhai Empire. The Mali Empire lasted for 230 years between 1230 and 1460 CE. The empire's most influential ruler was Mansa Musa. He had an army of 100,000 soldiers, including 10,000 cavalry units. He traded salt, ivory and gold across the far corners of Europe and Asia, and to this day, Mansa Musa is the richest man who ever lived. Then there was the Songhai Empire, which lasted for 140 years between 1460 and 600 CE. The greatest leader of the Songhai Empire, and possibly the most feared man in the whole of West Africa, was King Soni Ali. King Soni Ali was a conqueror who took control of the city Timbuktu and the town of Djenné to further improve his trading network. Given the amount of conquering, civil wars and wealth that occurred during this time, it seems like the perfect blueprint for an Assassin's Creed game. And since many of us don't know much about Western African history, I think the perfect opportunity to explore that would be through a game. The Assassin's Creed franchise has a tendency to keep their games' themes centuries in the past. And to be fair, it's for good reason. Like, how could an Assassin's Creed game work in the modern day when the enemy has things like surveillance and fully automatic weapons? However, there has been quite a lot of instances where a more modern setting has been explored. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is the most modern main game title being set in the 19th century. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia is the most modern Assassin's Creed game overall, being set in the early 20th century. There's been publications that explore historical settings like the Vietnam War in the graphic novel Assassin's Creed Bloodstone, and of course there's missions where the Animus glitched Arno into World War II occupied France, or where we play as Lydia Fry in World War I London in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Whilst playing as Lydia Fry, it made me wonder why couldn't we have a World War I Assassin's Creed? The First World War is possibly the most impactful, tragic and profound historical event in human history, so surely it would be amazing for the franchise. Imagine a stealth-focused Assassin's Creed game where you're an assassin working with MI5, Britain's Secret Service, where you visit major cities across Europe like London, Paris, Moscow and Berlin, and you will sometimes find yourself going behind enemy lines in some of the most major battles of the war. I think this could be very, very interesting for an Assassin's Creed game, as the lack of protection will change the way the player thinks. Take a look at Lydia Fry for example. No swords, no shields, not even armor. So if this became a game, don't expect to be fighting 20 dudes at once like the past games, but instead an experience similar to Assassin's Creed Mirage where we're given multiple stealth and entry options. I personally would love a World War I Assassin's Creed game. Not only for how amazing and emotional the story could be, but for how the world around us, whether untouched or destroyed by the war, would look. Last year, there was a rumour circulating around that an Aztec Assassin's Creed was in the works, but unfortunately it got squashed to be not true. Since then, the fanbase has been obsessed with the idea of a Mesoamerican themed Assassin's Creed game, and so have I. But what could a Mesoamerican Assassin's Creed look like? Well, let's look at it. Mesoamerica consists of 3 civilizations: Aztec, Maya and Inca. Despite it being the biggest empire, I think that an Incan Assassin's Creed game won't work, mainly because it's hard to know what their history was like. Where most civilizations throughout the centuries communicated and recorded their history with words or symbols, the Incans used knots in string called quipu, which is actually very impressive since the empire was run by their own government, but to this day, it is a code that many have failed to translate. So because of this, Assassin's Creed Inca is out, and that leaves us with the Mayans and the Aztecs, which is perfect as both have been mentioned or referenced within the franchise. If there is going to be a Mesoamerican Assassin's Creed, I think it will most likely be themed around the Mayans, since there are structures and characters within Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag that are of Mayan origin or descent. Given the atrocities that happened to the Mayans, Aztecs and Incans at the hands of the Spanish, I can see a game being focused around a sole survivor of the massacres who takes revenge on those who wiped out their people. Not only will the revenge story arc be thrilling to play, but the armor cosmetics and the world design would look stunning, and it would absolutely be an Assassin's Creed game that I would love to play. I don't know about you guys, but multiplayer and co-op is the most underrated feature in the franchise, and it still breaks my heart to this day that they abandoned it. In Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations and Black Flag, the main multiplayer mode was called Wanted. Wanted is like Guess Who from Gary's mod, but instead of teams, it's a free-for-all. The aim of the game is to find your assassination target, which will be another player, and take them out. The only problem is that your target will look identical to other NPCs. But whilst you are tracking down your target, you may be a target for someone else trying to hunt you down. So you have to use the environment and the crowds around you to evade your hunters and take out your target without arousing any suspicion. Wanted was such a unique mode at the time, and it truly was a fan favourite. But let's not forget about the ability to play co-op in Assassin's Creed Unity. The game got a lot of flack for its bugs, but playing missions and co-op heists with your best friends was such a fun experience, and I would love to see it return. Luckily for us, there are reports about upcoming codenamed projects that are confirmed to have multiplayer. Project Invictus, Raid and Echoes are either in pre-production or they are currently being prototyped internally. We don't know the settings of the games, they have no release dates, and there are no trailers either, but hopefully we can hear more about them soon. Well, there you go, that was 5 Assassin's Creed games that I would love to see. I think we can all agree that the future of this franchise looks incredibly bright, and with the amount of games and projects that are in the works, it looks like we are going to be very busy in the upcoming years. And whenever we get new information about a new Assassin's Creed, I'll be here to keep you guys updated. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and agreed with anything I had to say, Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to share your ideas for an Assassin's Creed game in the comments. Much love everyone, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.